All right, Knuckle Draggers, here we go. We're going to try something different this week. We got somebody on the podcast that's hopefully going to be a regular. Right now, we're just going to shoot from the hip. We've been talking about so much shit and wasting so much time right now. We had some golden shit, and it's already passed under the bridge here, so we're going to try to get caught up. I don't know if he's ready to go or not, but tough shit. We're starting.
I'm ready.
All right. Now, let's do it. First thing we're going to do is, hold on, coffee time. So what we've been talking about is legal, hear me out, YouTube, legal rifle modifications, quick fixes, concealed carry, more importantly, coffee. We're talking a lot about coffee.
What's wrong with coffee?
Going to talk a lot about coffee. We're going to talk a lot more about coffee. Never have enough coffee. See what I mean? We've been talking about ammo. We've been talking about building 300 blackout, putting it on a regular 223 or 556 frame. And again, all golden shit, and it's under the bridge already. We forgot to record, which is, I'm going to blame it on him because he's new. Right now, what would you like to talk about? See what I mean? Nothing. There's no. It's like crickets in this freaking room right now. He did get me a really cool on the air light that when you turn it on, it says on the air like you're talking on the radio. So that's on right now. So props for that. What I do want to mention is what we want to do is some of you sawhorses got to get off your ass and send in some more topics to talk about because I've covered everything everybody's asked me to talk about. You'd be surprised how many mental dwarfs out there have the same topic on their mind that want to talk about it, and then they want to criticize you by the email or criticize you in email when you talk about it on a podcast. So I mean, as long as you're professional about it, you can criticize all you want. Like I said, I'm going to call you a mental dwarf, but if you do that to me, I'm just going to delete you and block you. It's that way. That's how it is. That's how I roll. My fiance is downstairs making a breakfast skillet or casserole, or I don't know what the hell it is.
Casserole.
Smells good. Yeah. So when it's done, we're going to cut you guys loose because this is his first time on the podcast, and he's got some really good ideas for podcasts. Like I said, we already discussed it. You missed it. Your fault. You weren't here. That's not right. I shouldn't say that. Coffee time again because I'm almost out of coffee already. We've been drinking coffee the whole time we've been talking.
We should have been recording like 30 minutes ago. At
least 30 minutes ago.
We're just trying to figure out a new way to approach this.
Yeah, we gotta.
Two people.
We got to come up with something solid. I will tell you, he's a hell of a lot better looking than I am, but there's a chance I'm a little bit smarter. I'm not sure, not yet.
I'll give you that.
But he's had some really good ideas about because of the YouTube guidelines. We're not going to go at it like a complete AR-15 breakdown and reassembly because that's one I'm asked for a lot. When people talk about you should go video, you should do this, you should do that. And he is actually, I've been through the armorer school years and years and years ago when we still didn't have telephones. We were banging coconuts together. And he actually knows more about the AR platform now than I do. So he'd be an excellent person to get in on with that. But we would like to start doing videos. We're just going to have to pick the hosting platform that we want. I would like to stay with Patreon. There, that's a free ad for Patreon. Patreon, I hope you're listening. But we're going to keep the options open. Spotify, you pissed me off telling me to go video. We got to pay extra money. That's just, don't ever say it's free forever if it's not free forever. That's wrong. Oh, boy, we probably just lost Spotify, dude. But no, this is what we're doing. We're gonna put something together. We want to get him on, see how he feels about talking on the podcast. He just had an excellent idea that I would have never even thought about with the stock, loose stock on an AR collapsible stock. The pistol brace. The pistol brace. Lay it out. You told me about it. Talk about it.
For the pistol brace, I've noticed when I had mine on my AR, it was sloppy, rocked back and forth, very uncomfortable. So the simple solution that I came up with is I just set the stock exactly to where it fits me best, marked it, popped it off, and then wrapped one layer of like electrical tape just the whole way back from where you put your mark, and it eliminated all that slop. It almost feels like a stock now. But that's the best thing I found for that problem.
It actually makes total sense because the elasticity of the tape would absorb some of the shock and the loose friction that would normally be created by nothing in there. So it actually makes good sense. And I don't mean to cut in, but it sounds like my fiance is downstairs yelling at Siri to start a timer. So if you hear that in the background, that's what that is. Now that my associate's here, if the cat starts tearing up the carpet or something, I'm going to throw heavy stuff at the cat today. I'm tired of it. We got all kinds of ammo cans I can throw at her right now. So, no, I'm kidding. I won't. I would really like it if we could go at this with a really educational approach. I don't want to go at this with a thrill seeker running down the road, like I said, with 2 ARs and 2 9mm, just shooting up the town. That's not what we're about on this podcast. I would rather stay less celebrity and more applicable than anything else. This podcast is growing, and thanks to the people that are listening and actually hitting like and subscribe, I feel compelled to tell people that you're a bunch of lazy freaking YouTube, I can't say it.
Dorks.
We'll go with dorks. How much energy does it take? You can seek it out, you can click on it, you can listen to it, but you can't hit one more button. That's just a lazy piece of shit there. I said it. So the people that are supporting, we are growing at a geometric rate. I always give a shout out to my buddy out of state. He's there. We stay in contact. I hope to get him on a podcast here real soon. He knows who he is. We'll get him on the phone. Maybe I don't want to say 3-way. That's gross. We'll do it like him on speakerphone with the two of us. Maybe him and I the first time. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. He knows who he is. I don't think he's feeling too good this weekend, so you're in my prayers. And the other thing, I did get an email the other day, but I forgot to tell you about that because I said something about prayers and I brought God into the podcast a little bit. Dude, just drop us. Don't listen to us. I don't need you.
Oh, somebody had a problem with that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, don't listen to us. I don't need you. I don't want you on here. We are going to drop a prayer every now and then because I'm going to tell you something. There's an old saying in the Marine Corps. There's no atheists in foxholes, and that's the God's honest truth. What's the first thing you're going to do when somebody starts shooting at you? I don't care if you're an atheist, agnostic, whatever. The first thing you're going to do is say, God, please help me. There is no such thing as an atheist in my book. You're just too lazy to pray. So I wanted to add that in there real quick. And I firmly believe that through my associate here and my fiance talking about coffee and the coffee that we settled on, I do truly believe we showed God a better cup of coffee than he had before. I think he's smiling down, enjoying his coffee.
This is great, by the way.
Yeah, it is. I freaking love it. And I still use coffee creamer because of MREs, the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
I still need powdered coffee creamer. I can't use liquid.
I just do it tits. I still want to taste the coffee.
Yeah, I just put a little bit of the creamer in there, but what we're drinking right now is highly acidic, and it'll tear me up. And I got a sensitive stomach. Shut up. I put just a little bit of the powdered coffee creamer in there to take the edge off. Yeah, you didn't think we'd be talking about coffee time today. Well, there you go. I want to continue using the art. And with the music that we use, if someone comes up with a better theme song, I challenge you for better intro music. But I've really liked the stuff that we're listening to. But we are willing to mend this and fold it and whatever we got to do to get this where everybody likes it. Again, if you have a problem with something we talk about or you have a problem with me swearing, kiss my ass and get off the podcast. I don't need you to tell me you don't like me swearing. I'm going to swear. That's what I do. That's what I am. And if I have to, I'm going to get my associate to start swearing if I got to shoot him in the foot.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So think about what you want. Think about what you want to hear. We are open to ideas. Now, we've got pages of ideas to go through, but we'd like to make it more usable, something you can get something from. And I am telling you, we are discussing ways to do partial breakdowns and proper. Listen, I'm going to make it a point. I don't care how good you think you are. I'm going to show you the proper way to clean an AR platform, not this stupid shit you can buy the spray and done shit or any of that
CLP.
stuff.
A lot of people just hose it down.
No,
with CLP,
yeah.
And that's it.
Putting CLP on the weapon is like opening a book to read a book. That's just that's a good analogy, man. That's awesome, man. But no, it's like you just open a book. You haven't even started to clean the gun. And the way that I've always been trained in the Marine Corps, You clean the gun for 3 days after you shoot it, because CLP is going to break that carbon down for 3 days, and it's going to come on for 3 days. We'll give you a couple tricks. I know a couple tricks for cleaning, like the flash cage on the end of an AR. Very dangerous. You have to listen to us.
Yes, you told me this once.
Yeah.
I need to do it.
We're going to try it. We're going to mess one of his up, not mine. And I'm going to show him how to clean the flash cage to where it's ready for a Marine Corps Command General inspection. This isn't because we're trying to impress people with clean guns. It makes it a safe gun. We're going to talk a lot about weapon safety. When I say gun, I'm slipping. I should be saying weapon. There is no gun. They're all weapons. Everything you pick up that goes pew pew is a weapon. So start getting used to that. I like saying pew pew though.
Yeah.
It just takes the edge off a little bit.
Soften it up for people, you know.
We're going to talk. We are going to get into a discussion, not today, but we are going to get into a discussion on 223 versus 556. Because I broke that down already, and I don't know if people are too stupid to look it up in my list of podcasts, but I did break 223 versus 556 down. We're going to do it again, and I want to bring his opinions into this as well. I already know what he's going to say, but it just confirms everything I've said. But I'm going to have him come at it. I'm not going to tell him what I said or what we need to do. I just want him to come in with his opinion on 223 and 556. We're going to talk about 300 Blackout because that's going to be the next platform I want to build.
300 Blackout.
It goes through car windows, man. It's awesome. It's a heavier round to pick you up and throw you across the room kind of round.
And you can suppress it.
You can suppress, and it suppresses well. It's actually not as loud as 556 from what I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, if you go subsonic, you can get movie quiet.
Yeah, so I've seen military special forces weapons that when they work them the way they do, the pistols and the rifles with the subsonics, the bolt makes more round than the...
Yeah, you hear the reciprocating, that's it. Or the clink at the end.
Yeah, you hear the bolt, and well, like you said, when the bolt comes home, you hear that louder than the round, so... Not that we're endorsing doing this to your weapons by any means. We're just talking about the physics and what can be done. We are going to get into a big discussion on comms and a radio plan because he and I still need to do that.
I don't know enough on it, too.
I
need educated on that topic.
The more I read about ham radios, man, I've been through the tactical communication school in the military, and they've made so many advancements. These radios, when they first came out, like these... Baofeng? When the freaking Chinese radios, we'll call it, when they first came out years and years ago, I'm talking like 25 years ago, when they started producing these handheld ham radios, they were like $600-$800, and now you can get one for what, $19 on Temu.
You can get a whole kit for $35 with an aftermarket antenna, two batteries, charger.
Fully operational, fully programmable, unlockable, which is even the worst part of it, unlockable for under $20. And that's some serious.
It'll get the job done.
Oh yeah, I can't help to think that when we get to war with China, they're going to push a button or I'm going to explode like the pagers did in the Middle East. But
wait, that was the thing?
Yeah, that really happened.
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh yeah. They like I think it was Hamas had all these pagers, the readout pagers.
Yeah.
And the Israelis like a couple years ago switched out. It's a long, dragged out. So I'm going to condense it down if you haven't heard about it. But they actually took these pagers and put explosives in them. You don't need a lot of plastic to mess somebody up, especially if they're holding it in their face to read it. And they set it up so that the one frequency, when they hit the transmit, all these pagers would blow.
Yeah.
And like I think 140 of them. I think it was 140 of them all detonated. And out of 140, I think there were like 4 fatalities. I can't tell you how many people went to the hospital over it, but the Israelis started this plan like to do this like years ago, and they got a hold of the people that the Hamas was buying the pagers from, and they sold. I guess they just sold Hamas these pagers, or the distributor the pagers, and the distributor sold them to Hamas, and there was just enough of a shaped charge, which you can do. Oh no, you can't do. Let's say you can't do it behind the battery in the pager, so that when they'd be reading it like seconds after the page went through. That's why not everybody.
That's scary. What makes you think? Look at all the stuff we have.
Well, the nice thing is cell phones are getting smaller. That's less plastic someone can stick in there for us. But you think about how big those first ones were, like the Nokias and shit. You could fit half a brick of plastic in one of them damn things. Bricks. Yeah.
That's insane.
So, boy, we got off topic. But this is what I want to do when we're talking. This is the good shit. This is what people actually get a kick out of, and we're also going to be using shit. I'm looking over at one of my shelves with all my... We're going to call them toys. Toys?
That works.
we're going to be looking at that. We got to still figure out. My fiance got me a really, really nice drone for my birthday. We got to get that thing up and going.
When we sit outside, let's rip it around.
We can't do it here. You can't hit we can't hit the necessary GPS.
Oh.
And because of the big hill back here, it's blocking one of the GPS that it has to hit for homing. And I don't want to send it up because it's not going to come back if I lose a signal. So,
let's not do that.
I will. I told him one of the things I love about this, and she has a really, really, really this weird habit of picking wine out by the label, picking books out by the cover, and it's never failed her. Well, she didn't know much about the drones, and she picked the one out because she liked the
box looked cool.
Yeah, the box looked cool. This is one of the most whiz-bang technical drones I've had in my hands yet. And this is the big thing. Each battery, and this is for all you guys that bought those really expensive, really heavy drones with the 18-minute batteries, each one of my batteries lasts 30 minutes or more, and I can carry all 3 of those batteries in a shirt pocket. So blow that out.
All 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
Blow that out your freaking $2,400 drone pocket. But we got to figure that out, and we will actually. What I want to do, because it's got a 4,000K or 4K camera on it that you can control from the remote, and I want to get it up and get some pictures. But what I'm going to do is, I know some of you shoehorns out there are going to try to use Google and everything to try to GPS where we're taking pictures from. So we're not going to do it until we have the time to drive about 4 hours from here. I'm not going to tell you which direction.
People are getting good at that.
Yeah, so we're going to go. We're going to go by. Dude. They're doing like front doors.
Yeah.
They can tell your house by your front, like the delivery pictures that they use, like Amazon uses to show they can find your house.
I seen somebody get pinpointed to a specific location in Florida based off of a tree and a roof.
Yep. How about that?
This was like 2 days ago.
Oh,
insane.
So needless to say, no bullshit. We're going to go about 4 hours. I want to go somewhere where like a beach or something.
Yeah.
Or
it's pretty generic. Just
somewhere where I know we're in an open field way away from where we live. First, so we can hit the GPS, all the GPS things we got satellites we got to hit, because it will return. This is one of those ones that will return. It'll go out as far as you send it, and when it loses signal, it'll hover around, take pictures, and then it'll return back to right where it was launched from. So we got to find a big opening somewhere. I was thinking like Maryland.
Yeah, there's a lot of places.
There's a lot of open fields down there.
You can go to a beach.
Yeah, we'll go to the beach down there. Screw it. But that's we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be. I will tell you, the one thing I'm concerned about is it's small and it's light, and if it's really windy, so that's something we got to consider. That's the only reason I like those more expensive drones, because they're heavier. They can go head into the wind. This one's going to go wherever the wind throws it. It's that light, but it's still very advanced. So we'll get on that. I also heard, and we're going to try it, is if you're close enough to a drone and you can get 3 radios keyed up, like in a certain distance from the drone, it'll bring the drone down and it'll return.
Really?
Yeah, I heard something about if you can get them, because I have the frequencies for that drone.
Yeah. And
we can program them into 3 radios. And if we can key up, because that's it's going to be blowing 30 watts at it. If we use 3 radios with those antennas that I have, it's going to be blowing 30 watts at the frequency it transmits on. If I can do it on the unlocked radios, and I want to see if it's going to shut it down and bring it back.
Huh.
As long as I know it's not going to fry it.
Yeah.
I don't want to blow it up or anything. So we'll leave that to Hamas. But we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about body armor. That's another one I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Plates versus full vest. My guess is, the way my luck runs the last couple of years, I'm going to have like the best vest, carrier, crotch protection, and I'm going to get shot in the face.
That's how it's going to work.
It's guaranteed.
I want a plate carrier, but I just look at how much more is exposed.
Yeah.
I have a chest rig.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, civilian-wise, that makes more sense for me.
It does.
I'm not at the level of needing a plate carrier.
No, I don't think anybody is.
No, I mean...
First of all, if you get one, you're not going to wear it. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
If you wear it too much, they stink like hell. You can grow shit in there. They get that bad. When I was in law enforcement in Miami, it used to make you sick if you moved and that air shot up from inside the plate the vest, especially if you had a trauma plate. They reek.
Yeah.
And the sprays to clean them, no.
Yeah, it's quite a special situation to need a plate carrier. For me, I mean, I'm not going offense on really anything.
Yeah, I could see if I had the right pack, I could see putting one in a pack.
Oh, like they have some of them have that backpack.
I could see that because you could switch it around to the front if you needed it, or you could wear it on your back, and you're not going to get shot. That you won't get shot in the back then when you're running away from gunfire, like I plan to do.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get tied up in gunfire, but I believe in it for kids, for school. I completely believe in it. That we'll talk about that.
That's one thing. Yeah, you should talk about that. Hardening schools.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of in the process of it now,
Well,
but not fast enough.
somebody started. I don't know who it was. It was one of the of course Republican common sense senators started that hiring vets for in schools again.
Yeah.
But I caution them to vet the vets. They have to screen them more because so many of them came home with PTSD, and you don't want them walking around a school with a gun. I'm as much as I love my fellow vets, they need to be screened a little bit harder.
Now that we're on that topic, did you see the whiteboards in school that open up into a bulletproof room?
No.
You pull a handle, and it opens up into this big room.
Yeah, if we lost you there for a second, I'm sorry. Oh, no, we're still recording. Never mind. I've never seen it do that before.
Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, it opens up into a bulletproof room. The teacher just grabs this handle, pulls it, and it detaches from the wall.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But God knows how expensive they are. Not enough schools are getting those. At least none of the ones near me.
I got one for you. Then we're going to get off because she's probably down there grinding her teeth because she made breakfast and we're not down there. When I worked, I'm not going to say the company because I'm not going to promote somebody, but I had worked for a very, very large, one of the largest in the country insurance companies, and we created an emergency communication center. We had redundancy. We had 3 of them. Oh, by the way, we're going to be talking a lot about redundancy, but we created an emergency communication center, and the person that was over me, there were 2 of us designing it and setting it up. He insisted on having bulletproof glass and a man trap, which I'm fine with, but you have to do more than just bulletproof glass. And I tried to stress that, and because he blew us so far out of the budget with the bulletproof glass, we couldn't harden the rest of the room like I wanted to. So he was doing a tour for all the VIPs and whatever, ABCs, whatever the hell you want to call them, and he stepped up to the window and he mentioned my name, and he said I was a big part and I helped a lot with designing it, especially the communications. But he said he did push for the bulletproof glass. And he said, so what are you going to do now if you want to, attack? We're set now because we have bulletproof. We're set. And I was outside looking in. He's got the group inside on the speaker, the intercom. And he said, what are you going to do now? And I took one step to the left of the bulletproof glass and said, bang. I said, I'd shoot you through the wall. Mm-hmm. You haven't done nothing to fortify the walls. And that was the end of the tour.
People really underestimate how 9mm can go through multiple layers. People don't realize that.
But what I'm saying, what we're talking about with body armor, and like you said, hardening, because that's the proper terminology. I should have used that. I shouldn't have said fortifying. He was right. I was wrong. Maybe he is smarter than me. But you can't just think of the vest. If you're going to go that far, that tactical, if you're that tactical minded, you have to think more than just the vest. That's the problem. The way you move from one spot to the next. If you really think that vest is what's keeping you alive, we really needed to go into this, because that vest isn't keeping you alive. Your common sense is what's going to keep you alive. That vest is going to keep you alive from a lucky shot. That's what that's going to keep you alive from. So we're going to go into that. We got a lot of topics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to wrap this up. Just watch your 6 and peace out.